I like thy wit well, in good faith. The gallows does well, but how does it well? It does well to those that do win. Now, thou dost ill to say the gallows is built stronger than the church, Argal. The gallows may do well to thee, to apostrophe T again, come, toot again, come, whatever. Who builds stronger than a mason, a shipwright, or a carpenter? Tell me that, and unyoke. All right. Mary, now I can tell. Toot. I don't know what that means. Mass, I cannot tell. Enter Hamlet and Horatio at a distance. The first clown says, Crutch Gull, thy brains no more about it for your dull ass. Whoa. For your dull ass, they say that in here. Will not mend his pace with beating and semicolon. And when you are asked this question next, says a gravemaker, the house that he does make last till doomsday. That's cool, doomsday. Go get thee to Johan. Fetch me a stoop of liquor. That's cool. Liquor part's good. I could relate to that right now. I'll tell you that. All right. Second clown, he digs and sings. Sings this is in youth when I did love me, thought it was very sweet to contact all the... I'm not going to sing this. I am not going to sing this. Exit second clown. He digs and sings. In youth when I did love me, thought it was very sweet. I'm going to blow through this next line. To contrago time of the behold me, thought there was nothing to mean. Okay. So I just wanted to get through that part fast. All right. There's more. Hamlet, finally. Hamlet starts talking. Has this fellow no feeling of his business that he sings at grave making? And then Horatio says, custom hath made it in him a property of easiness. Get it? All right. Hamlet then says, 'tis ye and so, the hand of little employment hath the daintier sense. First clown, he's singing this, so he's like, but age with... I'm not going to sing it, though. But age with his stealing steps hath clawed me in his clutch and hath shipped me until the land as if I had never been such. He throws up a skull. It says that right here, that he throws up a skull. Throws up a skull. Huh. And Hamlet says, the skull that had, after the guy threw it up, Hamlet says, the skull had a tongue in it that could sing once, how the knave jowls it to the ground as it were Cain's jawbone that did the first murder. Okay, now we're talking this murder. Okay, I can relate to that. Okay. It might be the pate of a politician which this ass now overreaches. One that would circumvent God, might it not? And Horatio says, it might be, my lord. And Hamlet says, or of a courtier. I don't know what that is. Which could say, good morrow, sweet lord, how dost thou, good lord? This might be my such a gun, my lord. There's a horse and words, whatever. Horatio says, hey, my lord. And Hamlet says, why, and so, and now my lady worms. Chapless and knocked about the mazzard with the sexton spade. Here's fine revolution we had to take to see. Did these bones cost no more the breeding. We can cut that in. Breeding is the word. Okay. But to play at log hats with M, mine ache to think aunt, O-N-T, aunt. First clown gets a lot of dialogue. First clown sings, and I'm not going to sing, so you can do this in post, but a pickaxe and a spade for a shoulder sheet. Oh, a pity of clay for it to be made for such a guest as me. And the guy throws up another skull. It says there. He's the guy who throws up skulls. And then Hamlet, Hamlet says, there's another. Why may not that be the skull of a lawyer? Where is it? Something in a bunch of words with Q. And cases in 10 years on his tricks. And why does he suffer the rude grave to knock him about this sconce with a dirty shovel and will not tell him of his action battery? This fellow might be in time a great buyer of land with his statues. I haven't swallowed in a while, so my mouth is filling up with spit. I'm not going to swallow until I finish this line. This fellow might be in his time a great buyer of land within statues. He recognizes, finds, and double vouchers, and recovers in the fine and fines and recoveries of his recoveries to have paid that due and vouchers. I'm sorry, cut in here. Is a fine finds a recoveries to have his fine pate full of fine dirt. Will his vouchers find him no more of his purchases? Double once too, than the length and breadth of a pair of indentures. My mouth is filling up with spit. The very conveyances of his lands will hardly lie in this box and must be and inherit himself to have more. Okay. Take a drink of water. I need a drink. I still need a drink. Still. Here it comes. Needs more water. Need some more water. Okay, there's a lot more here. There's a lot more. I'm just gonna keep going. Oh, excuse me. Horatio, not a joke, my lord. Hamlet is not parchment made of sheepskins, and Horatio says, I, my lord, and calfskins too. Hamlet, I like these shorter lines are not as wordy. Hamlet, there are sheep and calves which seek out assurance in that I will speak to this fellow whose graves this Sarah. I don't know what that word is. First cloud, mine, sir. He's talking. There, basically, what I tried to understand is I think they're just talking to each other about, so God knows what. And that one guy has that line, oh, pity, a pit of clay for to be made for such guests is meet. And then Hamlet says, I think it be thine indeed, for thou liest in't. I-N apostrophe T, int. First clown, you lie on't, sir. So they're making up words here, basically. And therefore it is not yours. For my part, I do not lie in't. And he's saying another word. It's not a word. I don't care where you're from. And yet it is mine. And Hamlet says, thou dost lie. And there he's, I don't know if he's mad or happy or what he's saying at this point. Thou dost lie in't, you be in't, and say it is thine. 'Tis for the dead, not for the quick. Therefore thou liest. Everything is, they're always talking about like every word is in every sentence pretty much here. And that's the pattern I'm noticing. And their words with apostrophes like tis and int. First cloud. 'Tis a quick lie, sir, 'twill away gain from me to you. Hamlet, what man dost thou dig it for? First clown, for no man, sir. Hamlet, what woman then? First clown, no, for none, neither. None, neither. Okay, all right, first clown, whatever. Hamlet, who is to be buried in? Oh, they're standing over a grave and they're trying to figure out what's going on. And then I think this is the scene with that skull. I think that's what it is, because they talked about it. And, okay, all right. That was an L.A. story, I think. That's why I know about that. Anyway, Hamlet, who is to be buried in one that was a woman, sir, but rest her soul, she's dead. Oh, the guy's, fucking with him. Okay. Hamlet, how about how absolute the knave is, we must speak by the card, or equivocation will undo us. By the Lord Horatio has these years I have taken note of it. The age is grown so picked that the toe of the peasant comes so near the heel of the courtier, he gaffs his kai. But this is when the writing's a little thin for me, because those are just made up words. Just thin writing. How long hast thou been a grave maker? First clown, he's a clown. They're calling him a clown. Then how long have you been a grave maker? Again, it's confusing writing. It's thin. First clown says, all the days I the year. Again, no one proofread this. I came to't that day, T-O''T is what they say. I came to't that day that our last King Hamlet overcame Fortinbras. Okay, Fortinbras, now we're talking. All right, I'm back on board. I am back on board. Hamlet says, how long is that since? So he wants to know how long it is. You know. And First Clown says, cannot tell you that? Question mark. Whatever. All right, whatever, Shakespeare. Every fool can tell that. It was the very day that young Hamlet was born that he is mad and sent into England. No, I think he doesn't even know he's talking to Hamlet at this point. That's all right. Okay. Hamlet says, hey, Mary, why was he sent into England? The First Clause says, why, because he was so mad he shall recover his wits there, or if he do not, nice language, if he do not, you go around saying that, whatever, he's supposed to be like the guy who has the most beautiful words, but if he do not do that, whatever, it's no great matter there. Hamlet says, why? See, that's the best sentence so far. It's just one word. First Clown. 'Twill not be seen in him here, the men are not as mad as he. I'm going to blow through a page here at lightning speed, so get ready. Make sure you're recording this. How come he mad? How come he mad? Wait, hold on. Before I do that, Hamlet says, how come he mad? That's what he says. How come he mad? Like, I don't know. It sounds like Cedric the Entertainer. At that point, how come he mad? Sounds like Cedric the Entertainer wrote this. Not Shakespeare, Cedric the Entertainer. All right. How come he mad, says Cedric the Entertainer. Cedric the Entertainer. How come he mad? Oh, man. Entertainer is Hamlet. No, okay. We could edit that part out. Whatever. I'm gonna blow through this next part. Very strangely, they say. How strangely? Faith in and losing his wits upon his ground. Why, here in Denmark I have sexton year. Whatever. Okay. Man and boy, 30 years. How long will a man lie? The earth ear he rot. Okay. I'm not even gonna go into that one. That doesn't make any sense. I faith if he not rotten before he dies, as we have many pocky choruses. Oh, good. Good writing. Nowadays there will scarce be holding, laying in, he will last you some night near, or 9 year, 8 tanner will stop you 9 year. Okay. Why he more than another, said Cedric the Entertainer. Why he more than another, said Cedric the Entertainer. Why, sir, his hide is so tan with his trade, he will not keep out water a great while, and your water is a scored decayer of your warison dead body. Here's a skull now. How many more pages? Oh, my gosh. Oh, I should not have looked. This is not even the storm. This isn't even the calm before. This is like, oh, man. This is depressing. You're right. This is the most depressing play ever. I mean, not for Hamlet, but for the guy that has to read it on a book on tape. I need a drink. I still need a drink. Still. Here he comes. Anyway, where was I? Of your war-sawn dead body, here's a skull now. The skull has lain in earth 3 and 20 years. Whose is it? A whoreson, mad fellows it was. Who do you think it was? Nay, I know not. A pestilence on him for a mad rogue, a poured flagon of rendition on his head. Whatever. They don't know. They're the same skull, sir, was Yorick's skull, the king's jester. Okay, that's the part that's famous. In that, Hamlet, let me see, takes the skull. Alas, poor Yorick, I knew him well. Okay, this part I would know. Alas, poor Yorick, I knew him well. Horatio, a fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy, he hath bored me on his back 1,000 times, and now how abhorred in my imagination it is. My gorge rims at in. Oh, that's just disgusting. My gorge rims at it. Here hung those lips that I have kissed now. That I have kissed, I know now, not how oft. Right. Saving some space there. How oft. Saving some time. Where be your jibes now, your jambles, your songs, your flashes of merriment that won't to set the table on a roar, not one now to mock your own grinning quiet chap fallen. Now you get in my lady's chamber and tell her let her paint an inch thick on this favor she must come, make her laugh at that. Prithee, Horatio, tell me one thing. What's that, my lord? Dost thou think Alexander looked this fashion I the earth? E-N so. E apostrophe E-N so. Hamlet.